Good evening and welcome to NEWSBREAK Live. I'm Hiba Samad. Thanks for joining us. A car accident early this morning caused major traffic delays. Torrance police and fire responded to an accident in the area of Ocean Avenue and Sepulveda Boulevard. Power lines were down in the eastbound lanes of Sepulveda. Southern California Edison spent hours cleaning up. Traffic is now free flowing. No major injuries were reported. If you're a local business, you have the chance to get your hands on tax credits. The application period for the Next California Competes tax credit opened yesterday with nearly $70 million in available credits. Businesses interested in applying can register to view a live webinar explaining the application process. The first webinar is this Thursday. The California Competes tax credit is part of Governor Brown's Economic Development Initiative. GoBiz evaluates the most competitive applications based on various factors. Businesses can use the credits to reduce their state income taxes by the amount awarded. GoBiz was established in 2012 and serves as California's leader for job growth and economic development efforts. Head on over to NEWSBREAK Live's blog where you can find the registration form. The webinars will also take place on August 8th and the 13th. Honda is making sure it's doing what it can to decrease its carbon footprint. The car company, which has its North American headquarters here in Torrance, announced its plans to introduce a new Honda Smart Charge beta program that allows electric vehicle customers to reduce the environmental footprint of charging their car while earning money. Honda is the first one to introduce this type of program and will roll it out to Honda Fit EV customers. The Honda Smart Charge allows its customers to charge when electricity demand is low and when the availability of renewable energy is high. It also has the ability to compute the best time to charge a vehicle from the electric grid, dynamically taking into account the driver's daily schedule, the amount of renewable energy being generated, and CO2 emission. This is part of Honda's plan to make 2/3 of its global automobile sales from electrified cars by 2030. If you're a Fit EV owner, you can download the free app. To learn more, go to smartcharge.honda.com. A TV network is now casting for its 10th season. TLC's hit show Trading Spaces is looking for homeowners in the Los Angeles area who are ready to redesign and decorate one room in each other's homes as part of its popular show called Trading Spaces. The network is encouraging homeowners across the South Bay, including people in Torrance, to apply. In the show, the neighbors have 48 hours and $2,000 to swap houses and transform the room in 2 days. For more information, go to tradingspacescasting.com. The Community Services Department is encouraging more businesses to show off their green practices. Kirk Rosberg, owner of Torrance Bakery, was one of the first business owners to receive the Clean Bay certification since the relaunch of the program recently. City officials say Rosberg did a great job in implementing best management practices to the daily operation and received an official Clean Bay decal. The Clean Bay restaurant program's main mission is to improve water quality by reducing stormwater runoff pollution generated by restaurant activities. The program recognizes restaurants that choose to go above and beyond what is required by law to prevent ocean pollution. All you have to do is check off the checklist, and then there will be an inspection by a city official. If you're interested in the program, you can email lcortez@torranceca.gov for more info. A professional ballroom and Latin dancer is sharing his passion now in Torrance. The Monarch Ballroom officially opens this week. Owner David Estrada says he moved from Northern California for his dance partner and opened his business in Torrance because of the close-knit community. He says they offer group classes, private lessons, exercises, and even a space you can rent out.
Big passion of ours at the Monarch Ballroom is we're trying to bring kids into the studio. At the high schools and all the middle schools around here too. We're seeking a lot of the youth, so we're creating these programs to encourage the youth to learn ballroom and Latin dancing.
Estrada says aside from offering quality dance instruction, his goal is to inspire every student that walks through his doors and take them on an adventure in the world of dance, movement, health, art, and in creativity. They're located at 1323 El Prado Avenue. They plan to have a grand opening party on August 26th while offering great deals for interested customers like $1 classes. For more information, head to the monarchballroom.com. Now, not too far from the Monarch Ballroom is another Torrance business that reopened recently. APT Skate Shop moved from Crenshaw Boulevard to Sartori Avenue. At their new location, you'll find apparel, skateboards, and much more. They recently released their unique Torrance line as well. A large festival for surf enthusiasts kicks off this week. The 56th Annual International Surf Festival, which promotes the 4 South Bay beach cities, the world's best lifeguard service, and physical fitness for thousands of participants, returns. The paddleboard race kicks off tomorrow at Torrance Beach. Other signature events includes the Judge Taplin Lifeguard Medley Relay, the Dwight Crump Peer-to-Peer Swim, and the Charlie Sakely 6-man volleyball tournament. Participants range in age from 8 years old to the late 80s. The International Surf Festival is a non-profit corporation. For more information, go to surffestival.org. If you have a talent you want to show off, now is the time. The deadline to audition for South Bay's Got Talent is on Monday, August 6th at 5 p.m. Once you submit your request, auditions will take place by appointment on September 4th and 5th. The audition entry form asks interested people to submit the type of performance they want to audition for. This includes dance, music, and even variety. Head to torrancearts.org for more information. And let's get to the weather. This week's temps will stay steady. There was a high of 79 today with an expected low of 69. Tomorrow there will be a high of 78, and on Thursday a high of 79. A one-of-a-kind bread bowl may be coming to a casual restaurant. The double bread bowl will be arriving at Panera Bread in the near future once it's approved by customers. The new option is a loaf of bread with 2 holes created so customers can order 2 different items. The company will first roll out the entree this week in Philadelphia for a month before offering it nationwide. And in honor of National Avocado Day, a popular fast food Mexican eatery isn't charging extra for its popular side. Chipotle Mexican Grill is giving away this popular snack through its online and mobile app orders. Customers can get free guacamole with 1 entree today. All you have to do is enter the coupon code AVOCADO. The holiday of this trending fruit was founded last year by California-based Model Meals delivery service. And today, Freebirds is also offering free guacamole on all Monster burritos. And before the next half of NewsBreak Live, here's some upcoming events for this week. Torrance South Bay YMCA is hosting a free community health screening tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon. The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce is planning to present Summerfest in just 2 weeks. Early bird tickets are on sale right now. The event will take place at the Depot from 4 to 9 p.m. It will benefit the Foundation's LEAD program. Well, in just 2 minutes, Max Presneill, the director and head curator of the Torrance Art Museum, joins me live to talk about some exciting events and exhibits coming soon. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
Hi, Mom, heading out. Later, Gator. Drive safe. I will. And don't forget to call me when you get there.
I know.
And don't forget to put your phone away.
Already did.
And you drive safe too, mister.
There. Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. Why was the basketball court all wet? Why? Because the players kept dribbling all over it. Can I tell you another one? So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
What's Beethoven's favorite fruit? Banana. What is a boxer's favorite drink? Fruit punch.
Welcome back to the second half of NEWSBREAK Live, and joining me is Max Presneill, the director and curator of the Torrance Art Museum. Thanks so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
The Torrance Art Museum is such a special gem here in the city. It's so unique, and it constantly has some exciting events and exhibitions. So talk to me about its purpose.
Well, our purpose is to show the best of new art from local and national and international artists, and to explore some of the current issues that artists are dealing with, like the rest of us. And that can range from personal issues to political issues.
And what I love about the Torrance Art Museum is that you not only feature local artists, but like you just mentioned, international artists right here in the South Bay. So talk to me about, what does it take to do the research, get these artists into your exhibit?
Well, we look at developing themes for shows. Then we start making short lists about who might be suitable for them. We build really, really long short lists. And then we start going through those artists to see what they have available, where we can get the art from, what might go well together. Really expanding that out over a course of about 2 years to do that. Now we look for artists, like I say, from local areas. We expand that search out slowly. We want to make sure that that we're bringing the best that we can find from around the globe to Torrance, so that local residents and visitors to the museum really get a quality experience.
Have there been any favorite exhibits for you that you've absolutely loved, and you were so happy that they were here in Torrance to feature their artwork? Well,
yeah, I mean, we do all of our curating in-house, so we don't take touring shows, so we develop everything ourselves. There are favorites, of course, and I'll say this now, but the current show is called Phantom Limb, and it's one of my favorites. It's partly one of my favorites because I think the artworks themselves are really interesting, but it's partly because I find it really mysterious why they work. The show is about those states between things. When you wake up in the morning and you're still slightly asleep, you're still slightly dreaming, but you're kind of aware that you're in your bed. That space, they call it a liminal space. It's not quite here and it's not quite there. And the artworks we have on the show at the moment in the main gallery kind of approach that idea. Okay. And it's really hard to kind of put your finger on. And yet these artworks somehow work. And I find that the mystery of that really fascinating.
And each artwork, I'm sure, has its own story.
Absolutely.
This specific one that you just mentioned, how long is it going to be at the Torrance Art Museum?
It's up until September the 1st, and then we have a gap while we deinstall and get ready for our next one. And our next show is going to be called Die Back, which is vaguely translated from Korean as super cool. And it's a bunch of Korean artists and Korean American artists, and we're kind of reflecting on why Korean art has made such a huge splash in the art world internationally in the last few years.
Great. And Mr. Presneill, talk to me about how the Torrance Art Museum is separated. There's Gallery 1, there's Gallery 2. It all kind of ties in a beautiful way. So kind of talk me through that, because when you walk to the Torrance Art Museum, it's not just paintings you see, there's installations, and there's different rooms. So kind of give us a taste of what people can experience.
Well, we have the main gallery, which is obviously the largest space, and in that space are large group shows. Then we have Gallery 2, which can be solo shows or two-person shows. It's often where we show the international artists we bring in. Then we have a space called the Dark Room, which is a video projection room, and it's just dedicated to that. Then we have the hallway, the lobby area, which we allow artists to bring in sculptures or works by themselves. And then we have the patio, where we have a permanent sculpture, giant bronze, like mammoth skull. And then we have changing large-scale installations that go out there. And they tend to spend 2 or 3 months there before we change them out.
What's the significance of the different room names? For example, the shrinking room. What is the shrinking room?
Oh, the shrinking room is a sculptural installation that we have up currently that's out on the patio, and it's like a pie chart slice, the small bit that you've cut out, and it's made up of wood which has had laser carved quotes from people from history revolving around wealth and inequality.
That's great. And for each new exhibit that opens up, the Torrance Art Museum has an opening ceremony and kind of an unveiling party, which is great. So talk to me about that and the opportunity for someone to come out to that when they look at the calendar online. Yeah,
they're always on Saturdays, the openings. They're 6 till 9 p.m. We have the artists are normally present, as many of them that can be. We don't do anything formal. We just literally open the doors and people can come in and see the show, or the 3 or 4 shows that we have at any one time. It's a really, really great opportunity to talk directly to the artists, because we deliberately keep everything very informal, and we're more than happy to introduce anyone that wants to meet the artist directly. We also have the Torrance Art Museum's advocates group, who have a room for openings there, where people can go and become members, volunteer to support the museum, and they have a little section in there where they can meet with the artist one-on-one or in small groups and have direct conversations with them.
And speaking of the Torrance Art Museum Advocates Group, they recently partnered up with Macy's for a very unique fundraiser campaign. So tell me about that and what that means to the Torrance Art Museum.
Well, what's happening is Macy's are allowing customers the opportunity to round their purchases up to the nearest dollar, and those cents that might be left there will get donated to a number of different charities, and the Torrance Art Museum Advocates are technically a charity. They're there to support programming for the museum, and so any money that they raise, we go to them occasionally if we have big shipping needs or if there's a special event that we need to invest some money into, then TAMA supplies that. And so it essentially goes directly to Torrance residents and art lovers to come in and see more, better, bigger.
That's great. And people can go to the Del Amo Fashion Center, Macy's. They can choose the Torrance Art Museum Advocate Group as one of the beneficiaries. And the group that gets the most fundraising, they get up to $1,000 by Macy's, right? It's matched, the donation. Yes. Okay, that's great. And speaking of events, there's one of my favorite events at the Torrance Art Museum, because it gets the little ones involved, this Thursday, the Stories in Art. So talk to me about that initiative and how it kind of gets the parents and the children both partnering together.
It's a great program. It's a bit strange to have kids running around and they can be quite loud, which is really quite entertaining. But the idea is that they come in, they look around at the show, they're given a tour. We have a volunteer that shows them around the exhibition, points things out. Then they sit down and they're read a story, which is selected by the stories and art people beforehand, and has a relevance to the exhibition. Then they're taken across to the art classrooms, and there they make hands-on art based on what they've experienced and the story that they were told.
And registration is required, so you just have to call Torrance Art Museum to get more information. And talk to me about the South Bay Focus 2.0 coming up. It's an annual event. It's very special, I'm sure, to your team. Applications are being accepted now through August 31st. So what is this about?
Well, every year, at the end of the year, we have a show that's dedicated just to artists that are based in the South Bay. Anyone that resides in the zip codes of the South Bay can apply. This year we've changed it up. Instead of it being a general application with a juror that would select, what we've decided to do, following talks that we had with local groups and artists, is change it so that we are only going to accept 4 of the applications this year, and we will be doing studio visits with a larger group. We will select 4 artists from that, and each of those artists will get 1/4 of the museum's main gallery to present a solo presentation, so that visitors can see a wider range and more in-depth kind of study of what each of those artists are doing. And our hope is that it will give those artists, although there'll be fewer of them, a really more significant push.
Why would you encourage local artists to apply to this great exhibit opportunity?
Torrance has one of the few museums anywhere in the country that has the kind of programs, and he takes these kind of programs very seriously. It's a really unique opportunity to kind of find yourself in a solo setting of your work for a museum, an open call. This is very rare, and I'm really happy that Torrance Art Museum is one of the very few places that offer anything like this.
For many people watching, they might not even know that the Torrance Art Museum exists, and it's such a great place. But I want to get into what sets the Torrance Art Museum apart from other museums across Los Angeles County that, are primarily a bit larger.
Oh yeah. There's a few things. I mean, it really is a hidden gem. Anybody that's at all involved in the art world recognizes this. It's actually quite famous. We get visitors from around the world who seek it out and have heard about it. The things that make it really unique: it's free, it's intimate, it has a real availability. You can come in and ask to speak directly with a curator who'll come out and walk you around the show and answer questions. That's very rare. It's also one of the few places, I think, where you can see some of, and I mean this literally, we show some of the world's foremost, most recognizable living artists at the museum, but we also show the rising stars of tomorrow. If you look at our history over the last 10 years, you'll find a large number of people who've gone on to be international art stars, and we were the first museum to give them that opportunity to show in a museum. And so you really can pick up and gain a knowledge about what's going to be happening now and what will be happening in the future in art just by coming to the museum.
And Mr. Presneill, as a curator, being here in Torrance, where arts do prosper, you see it in theater, music, what would you say about the art here in the city? I think
there's a lot of people doing a lot of things here. The museum's place in this wider world is that we try and look wider and more internationally, as I've said, because we really want Torrance to be the Torrance Art Museum to be an important hub to see some of the best of global art, and for our residents here to be able to come here and bring the world to Torrance.
You did mention to me that Torrance Art Museum is unique because of its programming. So what does that exactly mean?
Well, we have, as an example, we have the Forum mentorship program where we spend a year working with young artists, gallerists, curators, in showing them how things are done, introducing them to really well-known art world figures in small discussion groups, and really developing their careers. And then we bring them to the museum to host an exhibition at the end of the year. This is a completely unique program. Every exhibition at the museum is unique. We build them all in-house. We curate them in-house, so they can't be seen anywhere else. You have to come to Torrance to see them. We're really working from a set of parameters where we're deliberately looking for ways of working that other museums often don't. So we have a thing called Mass Attack, which invites people to come in for a one-night event at the museum. Last time we did that, we had over 700 visitors in one night. There are programs that are completely unique to the museum.
It's also summertime, so it's a great opportunity to venture to the Torrance Art Museum and check it out. And also, speaking of summer, we did discuss the free summer concert series kicks off August 11th. It continues through the 12th. 2 to 4 p.m. There's shows, great artists, music, and it's all happening at the Torrance Art Museum. Are there any other events or anything you'd like to mention? You
should go on our website that's interested, because we really have a full schedule that's continuous.
And that's Torrance
artmuseum.com.
artmuseum.com. And for viewers tuning in, the Torrance Art Museum is located at 3320 Civic Center Drive, and if you ever have any questions, you can just give them a call. There's always someone there to talk. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Have a great night.
You too.
And as I just mentioned, for more information on exhibits and events, go to torranceartmuseum.com. They have a calendar and you can stay up to date. Well, that does it for NewsBreak Live. If you ever have news or video that you'd like to share, please email us at newsbreak@torranceca.gov. Also, if you missed any portion of the show, you can catch it on Torrance City Cable's YouTube page. Also, Torrance City Council has the night off. Have a great night.